Very recently, I put out a video of my top 10 favorite sneakers of 2025 so far. So I thought, why not make a list of all the sneakers that I want for the rest of the year? Top 10 sneakers I want. Not all of them, because there's many, many more. I have a lot of wants. Some would say needs, but I'm going to limit this list to 10. But there are a few honorable mentions, and one of them is the Converse Shy 1. This is, of course, the signature shoe for Shy. Is it Shay or Shy? I've heard both. It's spelled Shy, but usually I say Shay, but it feels kind of weird to say Converse Shay 1. So Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is the current MVP, of course, and in my opinion, they have completely botched the release of this shoe. They teased images of this shoe like very long ago, and it's not releasing till I think it's October. So still a few months from now, and so many colorways have been teased, and Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, has wore it on court, and I feel like they really missed the hype kind of build up. Like they built it up, and they just kept coming out with new colorways that SGA wears, and you might forget about them. Hopefully, there's a resurgence of popularity when the shoe actually releases, and they really get the release right, but I feel like they've waited too long. Regardless, I really like how this shoe looks. If you were around in the early 2000s, like I was, you will remember the Answer 4. That is the shoe that Allen Iverson wore when he stepped over Tyronn Lue in the NBA Finals, and it was very distinct because it had a zipper across the shoe. And I can't say definitively that this is inspired by that shoe, but it's not a wild guess. And AI is my favorite player of all time, so I'm glad to see this zipper design come back on a shoe on one of the more exciting young players in the NBA right now. Another honorable mention is the Jordan 4 Rare Air. Now, Jordan Brand has been going hard in the paint with Rare Air shoes this year. 2 Jordan 1 Rare Airs, Jordan 3 Rare Air, and the Rare Air series, if you didn't know, is inspired by the early samples and kind of mistakes that Jordan Brand made before a final version of the shoe is created and released to the public. And this one, out of all of them, I do think this is probably the best. Now, some people do think this blue, red, and black color combination kind of looks like a grade school shoe. I don't know, I feel like that's a stretch. I don't really see it because I actually really like how it looks. Maybe it's my all black sneaker bias, or maybe it's an Air Jordan 4 bias, which I think everyone has. Jordan 4s are just so delicious, but I really like this colorway. There's actually 2 versions of this shoe. So one will have just white Rare Air lettering on the tongue. Well, if you peel off the Jordan Brand tongue, it'll have white lettering. The other more limited one will have gold lettering. And I've actually already recorded my review for the shoe, so closer to official release date for this, which is July, off the top of my head, July 26th, I believe. End of July. I'll release that video closer to that date. First, it is the Jordan 4 Black Cat that is dropping on November 28th for $225. And this is a colorway that first dropped in 2006, came back in 2020. And the colorway is inspired by one of Michael Jordan's many nicknames, Black Cat. And of course, we saw the Jordan 3 Black Cat also return this year. Didn't really love that. Had that kind of shiny midsole. But this one, as a black sneaker lover, I was kind of surprised that this shoe ended up in number 10 on my list, because usually an all black Jordan 4 on any other month or year, it'd be right up there, but number 10 on this list because the second half of the year is loaded. But still, with that said, how can you go wrong with this colorway? All black, super sleek. There's nothing bold, nothing too loud, nothing annoying about this colorway. It is simple and it is delicious. Looks to feature an all black nubuck upper. Hopefully we get some really nice materials on this shoe, even though this colorway only came back like 5 years ago. An all black Jordan 4. I'll never get enough. Next, at number 9, it is the Jordan 8 Bugs Bunny that is dropping on December 20th for $210. Now, this was supposed to drop, I think, November or initially even earlier, but got pushed back. And the last date that I saw was December 20, so basically the end of the year. And this is an OG colorway that Michael Jordan first debuted in the playoffs. And it also is the colorway and shoe that Bugs Bunny wore during the Bugs Bunny campaign. And obviously, Michael Jordan was the star of Space Jam, and this is nice. And for whatever reason, recent years, the Jordan 8 has really started to grow on me, just the way it looks, even though with the 2 straps where it can look kind of odd, a little bit too much, like just too retro. But I don't know what it is, like the last year and a half, I've really come to like Jordan 8s, and this colorway is absolutely one of the best ones. It's hard to go wrong with a majority white base sneaker with some hints of red, and of course you get that very, very unique shape of the Jordan 8 with the X strap, with the Jumpman in the middle and that chenille texture. And this shoe did come back in 2003 as well as 2008 as part of the Countdown pack, and I am counting down the days for this to come back. And at number 8, it is the Jordan 10 Steel that is dropping on August 2nd for $210. Now the Jordan 10 is one of those kind of forgotten about Air Jordan shoes because it doesn't really retro a lot. I don't believe I've ever reviewed a Jordan 10. I've only been doing this for about 2 years, but still, you just don't see it often. But I will say it is probably one of my favorite ones, and much of that is because of how simple and just casual it looks. It doesn't look like a crazy basketball shoe. It doesn't look like you can only wear it on court. I feel like off the court, it looks pretty nice as well. And the Jordan 10 was actually supposed to come out with like a toe cap in that toe area. Michael Jordan actually specifically requested they remove that. And this Jordan 10 Return and Retro does come with that feature. And it also comes with the Jumpman facing in opposite directions. So when the shoe actually first came out, the ones made in Taiwan had the Jumpman facing left, and the ones made in Korea actually had the Jumpman facing each other. And it has the powder blue on the insole like the OGs. Retros had the red Jumpman instead, that beautiful outsole of the Jordan 10 listing Michael Jordan's achievements. At the time in 1994 when this shoe was first being designed, we probably thought Michael Jordan was done. He retired. That was his first retirement. So they listed out his accolades. There was already enough for an outsole. But of course he came back and won 3 more championships. And at number 7, it is the Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard that is dropping on August 23rd for $180. Now, if you didn't know the origins of this colorway, 10 years ago, this colorway was meant to celebrate, I guess, or refer to, or was inspired by Michael Jordan breaking the backboard, shattering the backboard in an exhibition game against, it was like an Italy team. It was in Italy. And at the time when this colorway first dropped in 2015, the materials was something that a lot of people like, and it does come with custom insole, not just a regular Nike Air insole. This is one of those where even though it's not an original and OG colorway, might be just as nice or like slightly below that. And at number 6, it is another Jordan 8 on this list. It is the Jordan 8 Aqua that apparently is supposed to drop in July 19th, but almost certain that it's going to be pushed back to September. And it is an OG colorway. It is one of those OG colorways where didn't really feature any Chicago Bulls colors. It came back in 2017 and in 2015 as well. And in 2015, it actually came with the glittery type of midsole that also came on the OG version of this colorway. So special attention to detail there. And this year, they look to feature that as well. So very close to the original form. Of course, as an all black sneaker lover, I love this colorway, just majority black with very beautiful hints of purple and teal, kind of like the Jordan 5 Grapes that just dropped, inspired by that Charlotte Hornets type of colorway. North Carolina is where Michael Jordan calls home, even though he was born in Brooklyn, New York. You see that Jumpman chenille tongue as well. Now, I think if I had to choose, I'd probably still pick the playoffs, just slightly over this one. I think it depends on my mood at the time, but it's awfully close. It is awfully close. Let me know which one you would choose in the comments below. And at number 5, it is the undefeated Jordan 4 that is dropping on August 28th for $225. Now, this colorway first dropped in 2005, but it wasn't just any other colorway. It was actually the first collaboration between Jordan Brand and a sneaker boutique, and this shoe was a grail for a long time. So for the 20th year anniversary of this colorway, Jordan Brand decided to rub it in the customers who spent a lot of money to grab this original version and say, we're gonna let other people have this too. Hey, I'm not complaining at all. This olive green, it is just one of my favorite shades, probably my favorite color outside of black, white, the usual kind of grayscale colors, and it is a military inspired colorway. You'll see the Velcro on the tongue that was inspired by the patches on military flight jackets, an upside down undefeated tag on the inside, and there will be 2 versions of this shoe. So one with the Jumpman, that's actually how it came in 2005, and one with Nike Air on the booty. I can't remember, or I don't know which one is going to be more limited. If you want this shoe to be close to the OG, even though it's not an OG Jordan 4, you would want the Jumpman. And just like how the Wu-Tang Dunks came back last year, I'm not one of those guys who thinks grails and absolute legendary grails has to remain like unretroed. Because my objective, non-biased opinion is, give me a chance to own those grails. Number 4, it is the Ja 3 Max Volume that is debuting on August 15th for $130. Now, I said a while Nike is doing Ja Morant dirty. The first 2 signature shoes for Ja Morant was, I think, okay, but nothing special. I guess you can't expect too much for a shoe that's priced that way, but the Sabrina 2s are my favorite shoe right now to play ball in, and they're the same type of price. And the Ja 2 specifically was a bit of a letdown. There was not really much improvement over the Ja 1. It was kind of muted. I just did not love that shoe, but I love watching Ja Morant play. And this shoe, this design really stood out to me. I really like how this shoe looks. So you'll see Ja Morant's logo all over the upper and an arrangement that references like a scratch by a grizzly bear. Of course, he plays for the Memphis Grizzlies, and you'll see on the lateral side that pattern of the outsole, how it comes up, that also forms his logo as well. Now what's interesting is that it features full-length Zoom X. So Zoom X was used in the Jordan 39s as well. Very plush type of responsive cushioning. I really like it. It feels very comfortable. At my old age, I kind of want more cushioning in my basketball shoes. But this one uses full-length Zoom X only on the top layer. So it's laid over recycled Zoom X. That's why you get this shoe at a much cheaper price point. And I'm interested to see how this shoe feels on feet and how it feels on court. And at number 3, it is the Jordan 1 Low OG Voodoo Alternate that is dropping on October 29th for $160. Now in 2023, Jordan Brand came out with a Zion Jordan 1 PE that was a reference to Halloween, like a voodoo type of theme. Of course, Zion Williamson plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. That's kind of like a huge theme there. So it totally played into the whole story. That was one of the best sneakers of that year. And this is a follow-up, and in my opinion, this one is much better. I love that one, but this one gets my sneaker hormones going. I am a black sneaker lover with that very midnight blue type of combination. This looks great. There's a bunch of materials that's used on this, so you can see canvas, textile, some suede in there as well, and you see that little ghost voodoo emblem on the heel of the shoe, a little mini swoosh on the toe box, as well as rope-like laces and a cursed upside down Nike Air tag on the tongue, upside down Wings logo on the booty as well. I'm not sure if that is glow in the dark. It looks like it might be, but don't hold me to that. But this is very well done. The presentation is just delicious. A stark contrast to Zion's career with the Pelicans so far. Just a lot of ups and downs, a lot more downs, in my opinion. When he's on the court, he's great, but he's just not on the court much. Number 2, it is the Jordan 5 Tokyo that is dropping and returning on September 27th for $210. Now, like the undefeated Jordan 4s that's coming back in 2025, this was another grail for a very long time. This first dropped in 2011 to celebrate the opening of Tokyo 23. That was at the time the biggest Jordan Brand retail store in Japan. The World of Flight store since opened and has surpassed it in size. But yeah, in 2011, this was limited to just Japan, just an absolute grail for tons, including myself. You see that beautiful yellow nubuck on the upper, hopefully comes with just absolute delicious materials because this shoe deserves it. It does have a slight modification to the original version. So you see that toe clip is slightly different. They modified that part. The Jordan 5 is my favorite shoe of all time, and because I can't afford to grab the original version of this shoe, I grabbed the Michigan colorway. That is a very nice shoe, but kind of like that whole meme where your mom's like, we got Jordan 5 Tokyos at home, and it's the Jordan 5 Michigans. But this is not even the best Jordan 5 on this list, because at number 1, it is the Jordan 5 Fire Red that is dropping on September 13th for $210. This colorway, obviously Michael Jordan wore on foot as a PE, and it came back in 2006 as well as 2013, but the font of the 23 looked off and it was a Jumpman on the booty. Now this is a special retro because it is the first time where the Nike Air is on the booty and the 23, the font of the 23 is what looks to be very close to the original form. And that 23 is significant also because this colorway was actually the only OG Jordan 5 colorway that had the 23 embroidered. Of course, since then, they put the 23 on a lot of Jordan 5s, a lot of special Jordan 5s as well. They'll stick that 23 on there, but it actually didn't exist on like the black metallic and the other fire red colorway. But this time you see that delicious white leather, well, hopefully delicious white leather with the Jordan 5 shark teeth, my favorite part of the shoe, with the black tongue, with the lace lock that I don't love, but it comes with the territory, with that scrumptious icy outsole. The first time an icy outsole ever debuted on a Jordan Brand shoe was the Jordan 5. If I need one thing this year, out of all the things that I need and want, it is this shoe. This shoe. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sol Inclined. Let me know what shoes you want for the rest of 2025. Did I miss any? Probably, but hey, that's why it's my list. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes